Yes, Fancy, it is interesting to know and your course so during the weekend. And you see the footballing calendar, no, especially at the European club side, no, definitely football as a whole in under the calendar in because there is the FIFA Club World Cup. I die any man on the clubs for no makodia to so mokakusi akan. So this is the European standard na no the other clubs side in the team and it counts the various competitions that we have in Europe. Any the obi episode who be an amanakwakusi. But there are a lot of things that came out of Nano Saturday game the more interesting see betimi di ho nkomo. There is enough to speak about, especially when it comes to baby Paris Saint-Germain a free any pempenso about bedru any whatever they were craving for Timiaka. They did not only win the UEFA Champions League, but in this particular instance, they've made sure so much with other trophies are all combined here. In football, there are few teams in the the treble. Now they've also written their name in that particular history books. Then there is Luis Enrique, so I bet me didn't home compare the quality of football you heard on Saturday. And Fancy, when you look at the kind of football Paris Saint-Germain boy now, I think this is one of the most one-sided final I've ever watched. Say yes, final pair one-sided panel. Game we see pani betting me can was him. And when in the final, and young fan said one opponent Asher more goals there to the other side no because you Barcelona AC Milan, AC Milan share Barcelona by 4 goals to 0. You've seen Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid 4-1. You Real Madrid against Juventus and also 4-1. Then you come and witness this at 5-0. I think say this particular performance a 5-star performance from Paris Saint-Germain, and I didn't know more change no more superstars. I don't be red team be project no team a galaxy of these teams have actually brought it up and no team monaso. But young conform you be a person medium on then we discuss a little bit of transfers. The other kind desire do, and I think say Akodano during the season there has been on and off in some games. Wow, I heard the French league ne kakra so nya da GTM sa league ne pa. Onye player were consistent due to the fact that there are certain games go non starting farmer omo. Brady Bacola and starting games no Edema Paris Saint-Germain. But definitely this is how you announce yourself to the global stage at the global stage to we are seeing so obian he no aba. Because Paris Saint-Germain emre bi atwam no mokofa David Beckham de buy. There was Ronaldinho in this particular setup. There has been Neymar in this team. There has been Messi in this particular team. There has been Kylian Mbappe in this particular team. But Fancy, none of them. And a team do this stage, team taking the game upon himself. Say me decided a certain final at the Paris Saint-Germain. I'm on my team they an European trophy. The last time they went to the final, Kingsley Coman is still in the show. Abra Bayern share PSG by 1-0 the trophy in the DSC Monaso. Neymar won and Pania and Bibia Hodo, but we didn't give them one team and far more. But Akoda way in the first start in the UEFA Champions League final. Fancy Shekwanya or the Inter Milan boys in the Faso. And his adaptation is becoming something else because he is known to be a dribbler. But at the Champions League level now, or they are quite a different stage of being a goal scorer and a creator. On a stage where I'm not obiani naso. Because you catch your son when they be decided to final and one and keep boni din.
We can't Dembele.
We Dembele free on my yen never bought Kivicha Kraskele. Yeah. Asakra never bought Vitinha Mudin. But this was a kid who announced himself at the global stage. Me concern Pani say what next? Because we've seen a lot of beautiful stories in football. Adia wa brabomni say not all beautiful stories. And there was a beautiful ending. There are a lot of beautiful stories Tembiano na shase no utia na yode. But ewiye no ebako wiase na ase kire ne tese na sakwako wiese. By looking at what he did, I'm really looking forward. Say he's not going to be another player where we'll tell a different story in the near future. Say Akoda we share go as stay in the final. But then Monsho baby on enam. He's a family football from Kwani wom. Ne wo fa bobo. We are currently crab Strasbourg. And anwa da PSG in Strasbourg crano. We saw someone in Nuano. No more dim common at the other one chain. So he comes from a footballing family and we expect him to do well. Obey swa onye. na onye ni ye. And I'm hoping said this wouldn't be the end per his quality and idea was showcasing, but it will go in the long run and give him whatever that he deserves. Right? Football always has a way of coming back to make sure, so respect be a will lose you can be able to earn it. The number 2 person I was trying to talk about is Luis Enrique. We can speak a lot about the story of Onene Babania can be Brenham and Etrem. But I think say Adeba Kwa manage the money pa the fact say fancy. Papa way ebe lusu a certain respect among other European coaches. I'll be a quadri treble 2014-2015 with Barcelona. There was some respect in the world stroke kakra. But do not him say, oh, we didn't pass here sideways. We did a born a boring do. We did a head star in ACT corner, and your man said, I'm calling Famano. Yeah. Better crying a Jumano crowd with me. I'm not also before a Juma Calancelotti by one Timian. Thomas Tico before Jumano went to me. Mauricio Pochettino before Jumano went to me. A Juma Yakofa Messi, Mbappe, Neymar, Omunina boy, and Mudeman, and Manentimian. And yes, I knew yes, PSG were not successful. But I knew you to a certain extent, say, per the amount of money PSG invested in project imuno. Who expect to say season after season in the league one pay and also multi-major. But in terms of European competitions and other major competitions, be on my Omudio no multi-major to draw an idea. So in the league they were doing so well, but in Europe there was a huge problem, and that is what he was brought in for. I didn't carry a season when Uncle J Coupe de France. Trophy the champions, you know, and not G League now. You can't say normal because PSG always does this season after season, and other coaches are back. Christophe Gattier, GGB the year but the extra mile will always be that particular thin line of Paris Saint-Germain crossing their borders to make sure they will stamp their authority on a competition like the Champions League. Now on Saturday, me explain and you want me say the reason why winning this particular trophy means a lot, and a bit me make it. Luis Enrique immortal in the history books of Paris Saint-Germain now. Fancy eye nika na ya hwa se ono ana sadi we afa ne so e de aba. Se Olympic myself for me so meet me pie because Paris Saint-Germain na any Champions League ni kwa o ma je treble. To me o de no to nchen a mo di katafo na tema ana mo discussion. And now discussion we are not try. They say fancy and also we are saying saying. Yeah. So Luis Enrique has become immortal in the history books of Paris.
And Mekai Crash or buy na okay so now PSG born yet on maybe 0-0 their league games now going in ma amount for Sopano now or moment she go na then they even in the Champions League crown so here playoff and some or they advance their back.
And the turning point was just a little thing, and I'm happy for him. Say what me achieve this particular results away from the Champions League, which the season let's see. Yet one man of Akomeah Ousmane Dembele, UEFA best player. And Mama Desire Doué, young player of the tournament. This can go as far as so far as UEFA you as the best player, and the probability say you be the UEFA best player and ankasa na UEFA awards no osoro. Osoro. And you be you as best a striker, best playmaker, and send your money in so than chain. But I strongly believe say there are different things that other players did in the competition which actually should have put them ahead of Ousmane Dembele. To be very honest, when you're Rafinha why 13 assists, 13 goals, 8 assists, 21 goal involvement in the Champions League. But you see, you expect Senki baby the corner and you know, as the best player of the competition. Then there is Yamal. A splendid performance in most big games in the UEFA Champions League. I will expect Senkasa award and the Kemfanya Day. But this goes a long way to tell you one thing about football. Fancy. No matter what you do during a season. So real season, no one football doesn't remember people also second and third.
Yes, any numbers be a man.
Football will always remember you for the kind of trophies you won. You see, you need to be also. There were certain things that we are talking about the Champions League in particular. Fancy, I'm here to see Obi Ayeyin as the best player of the Champions League. I'm on the Champions League, you know. Okay. Maybe we have some Albert Makaime. But I'm here to see. You can check and also help me out.
Say your Champions League season every ye
best player of the Champions League.
Player,
and you'll be a one and you're on a trophy. No. Fancy what I say. Mimi to me say pen numbers ne kuta Rafinha ene Yamano. To be very honest with you. Because Rafinha na coming close to even Cristiano Ronaldo record and all Champions League mo. Na Yama age ne ade na akoda na ye. Award ne da ho masa da ho mo mi da ho.
We effect your Ballon d'Or so. You
see the Ballon d'Or me dey ka say fancy. The role ade be determine the Ballon d'Or ne your mama you next. Champions League ne ama Dembele almost be not to bear 70% CC. Because he did not only win the Champions League, he has won the treble. I think we are underrating how people treble no je dion.
The last player je treble no so NGO.
What I say? Treble no je ding. But the determinant
when we need after the season.
Oh, that we need after so Spain Euros no. Spain Euros we na Rodri Beji.
Season na Ellen Haaland treble.
Yes.
Messi na
yes. But the
MTR
you see the reason why on say only two players and Mike on betimi akose a particular havoc. So what the treble kra na betimi abeji Ballon d'Or free sem. Messi ni Cristiano Ronaldo. Fancy enye bibia nti no mumienu ne ba baji o on say ade na voting na ye no sankofo ni mienu o ma establish themselves as household names
more public appeal no
la omo no madwuma no mo hia pia bebrebe just perform on the pitch with one competition because here na Messi eje Ballon d'Or no ade ba ko e dey consider Messi was the World Cup.
Yes,
let's not forget. Say a World Cup ne pan they play massive role at the man Messi. And that is one of the best World Cups I've ever seen Lionel Messi play.
Yeah, man of the match, I was almost
every single game. And you know, so you to me say World Cup no na the godfather of every single tournament we are CBA. Meboa. Me no baby a Messi aka say edini sa boa na ye sa ye be go back to 2010. So be kaya 2010 na Schneider Eddie in Tamland J treble no. Sa World Cup na e boy no Messi mo amohwe. Argentina crampo Diego Armando Maradona the but they did not reach anywhere. But be you see there's a public appeal for these players so what the other players by example I will never ever agree with you because the public appeal of Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo goes beyond reasonable doubt.
Okay.
I'm going to be ketua bi itina obi kura say and yesterday somebody told me say what the mama Messi nkoje a club World Cup ne nanke hade and nipa no obeka say bia agro no deal but I'm telling you for a fact obetimi akwakoje e bia Messi onje obabo so afro podium
central for na to aba
and central for na to because okọ Bahamas na okọ Bahrain na okọ Kosovo ono to aba na what did ni Messi ni Ronaldo no e woni 3 months di yan say Messi age bibi. But I feel that the current generation of FIFA Ballon d'Or voters no and your bebre will have to play in your part. It all boils down to in prem with your betime within a twinkle of an eye near the award ne be ma. Me Rodri at the Euros na the Ballon d'Or. Messi mu no mo de a certain pedigree bi o ma set am mo standard ni PL bi o mo da. I build the foundation. It will your performance kakrebi. But this current ones near to abano. Something about Champions League now. But make catch also within the next 2 months, the Nations League in the Club World Cup, ni bet Sabi Bia.
Yeah, I say after the Champions League in the Sanke season in the area.
Any area.
And Kenonko. But the new format of the Club World Championship.
That is it.
And the Nations League.
And the Nations League is also there.
Yeah.
Because Rodri, I don't know about here because the Champions League na board and you're not the best player. No Vinicius Junior. Me, I'm saying for a fact, say, Kyrie na ke to abano. Ananka Euros be anyone maka Vinicius Junior will be the Ballon d'Or winner.
Okay, in Euros now no the ha.
But Euros no, I didn't know Rodri be here with Euros no. Or Danny Nyoma bebre that time now so mo ko Copa America.
Yeah.
Vinicius mo ko hwe poto o mo ntimi amo. ana Rodri na nkasa so na the deal that so am for team after treble season na omo ye dey it Euros ni pia na kakra bi say oh club side kwampo we team ya the treble yan farm no and the national team na push ni say we ya complete football
so me say Mike can be club World Cup no so Basanka
but bibi aso betimi asesa with the Nations League
so Rafinha J no to say Lamine Yamal edge the Nations League.
They say Rafinha trouble or Ballon d'Or in Paris say ono a Nations League
ono so more club
club World Cup but Yamal an opportunity with the Nations League the same thing no opportunity no Dembele so opportunity I was a Nations League no yes. And at the same time this Paris Saint-Germain team ne ball no more bono fancy the club World Cup no some of the performances wey na almost bit ma be hard. It is 2 tournaments.
And some Super Cup no
also Super Cup crowd and shut down major it's a major trophy though. Okay. But also the determinant factors of how people are going to vote for you in the Ballon d'Or now. UEFA Super Cup no wouldn't come in. But Club World Cup no 32. I was telling somebody say FIFA invested millions and millions of dollars. I hype this particular competition. It will definitely play a role in how people will vote. And about PR no so baby adwuma ne say yedin. Man ko fo bi ne say no Ballon d'Or na ho amu na eye.
France for now.
And you na no stadium no mo to nyum Osman Dembele Ballon d'Or. And you na to nyum no ho.
Omo say asepa ofia oye.
What you say? Mbappe dey, we because what then Mbappe did not even win the champion. What do you mean the French League? When the season even won the World Cup in 2018, no cry no. One man because Ronaldo ni Messi no one never set the difference. But it's see an to a certain extent say Dembele has made a case for himself due to the treble now waje. And then the numbers are what he accumulated. Okay. But fancy more or less the Club World Cup and the Nations League also a legs kakrebi on ma. And also bet me a pushy. Make Barcelona as a Club World Cup. For now,
top 3.
The top 3, the assistants currently the Dembele, then Yamal, then Rafinha as the top 3 assistants. Kylian Mbappe will be like 4th. Because only an outsider in this particular discussion. Salah also be, but these people are outsiders due to the Club World Cup and the Nations League now a dominant. Because Salah there me yapa say if the Nations League and BBC and be non-call because omo de in a to about in prima say journalists na na dominant recency bias. That is the right word that what you see. But Florent Vet on $150 million da.
Why?
Florent Vet on your $150 million player.
Been a ton of the Osini
on your $150 million player.
That's the price.
$150 million player.
Mateus Cunha is 62.
On your $150 million. Florent
Vet is
$150 million player.
Ghana standards.